Hi, it's John with padprinters.com. We're going to talk about the model 1083 exposure unit. This is the exposure unit that is typically purchased with a Micro 90 and other smaller machines with smaller size cliches. This is the 1083, as I said, and you should receive also, if you want to use standard 110 outlet Stepup Transformer. It should be similar to this. Usually they all have an incoming voltage switch that should be, in most cases, set to incoming voltage, which is 110. I've plugged in my exposure unit here, and then obviously on the back of the machine. So the 1083, when you get it, you'll find that there'll be tape keeping this drawer shut right here, so you remove that tape. And then when you open the drawer, also should be taped down the vacuum blanket, which is this guy right here. So you want to remove that. This material on here is kind of loosely fit. It's basically applied with a double-sided tape. You can clean this with soap and water if it gets dirty, if you punch a hole in it or you get something on there that you can't remove. Let us know, and you can get a replacement kit where you peel this one off, clean the frame a little bit, and then reapply new material. So that is the vacuum blanket. This is the vacuum bed where you're going to lay a cliche. There's a port over here where the vacuum actually draws. You want to keep this thing clean. If you get dirt and dust and stuff in there, just vacuum it out occasionally. Then for the controls on here, you have a main power switch and you have a vacuum switch. In order to set this timer, right now it's set for 4 minutes. To operate the timer or change the time, this is the start button, plus minus button for adding or subtracting time, and this isn't a button, it's just a timer number. So you got plus minus to adjust time and start, stop. If you want to change it, right now it's set for 4 minutes. If I try to change it here, nothing's happening. So in order to get this to accept changes, I push and hold the plus button and the start button. You'll see I got a second decimal point right here. When you have the second decimal point, there you can adjust with the start or with the plus minus buttons. Once you get to the number you want, hit start again, that goes away, and now you set the time. So to start the lights, if you press start, the timer's going down. You'll see the UV lights in here are on. Before you make any cliches, it's important that you warm up your exposure unit. Bulbs take a little bit of time to go from 0 to full power, probably around 2 minutes. So I would recommend going through at least a 4-minute warm-up cycle every time you're going to make a cliche if this thing is cold. And then of course you have the vacuum button, as I showed you before. So when you set a timer and start an exposure like this, you're gonna put your cliche in there and you'd start it, but first you want to turn the vacuum on and start. When this runs all the way down to 0, the timer's gonna stop and reset to whatever you have it set to, like 4, but the vacuum's gonna stay on, so you'll have to shut that off manually. Again, the timer only controls the lights, not the vacuum. So that's an overview of the 1083, how to use it, how to set the timer, and I'll come back and talk about the other stuff in the cliche making kit in the next video.